Core Life. It's like Chipotle. No, it's recorded. There's this restaurant called Chipotle, Core Life. It's kind of like Chipotle, but it's really healthy, right? If any of you guys have heard of Kava, it's kind of really similar. We used to have to deliver like all these, like, hey, you go in, you get a free bowl. And we used to have so many extra. I probably had 100 of them. I ate free so much. They used to come in. When every time I went in, they were like, how do you have all these coupons? I'm like, my job, I just get them. I used to take advantage of it. I was 18, 19. Oh yeah. I was eating good every day
Smart
after
money.
work. So
Smart money,
yeah.
man. That's impressive. So, obviously now you're on board, you're in symmetry and everything like that. When did you finally have, and I'll just reference this for the parents out here, the smart cookie reference, the aha moment? When did you
Mhm.
have your aha moment that said, you know what? I'm planting my flag. This is where I want to be.
Yeah. That came the beginning of October of 2021. It was my upline Marty. He held a contest. He said, "Hey, whoever can get a room of at least 5 to 10 people together, I'm gonna fly up there. I'm gonna do a corporate overview." And for me, I'm a very optimistic person, right? I'm always positive. I think I can do anything. So I'm like, I can get 50. I'm gonna get 50 people in a room, right? I'm brand new, by the way. So I'm like, Marty, I'm getting 50 people. I texted everybody I knew. I was going to all the rec centers. I was going to libraries. I was doing the whole thing. And I had a bunch of people that said they was going to go. So Marty and my direct upline, Chris Smith, they came up there. They came up there. Nobody showed up to the corporate overview, right? I had to go out there. I got the space, right? I found the library. It was free, right? It had the technology and all that stuff, which was cool. So I didn't have to pay anything. I was broke anyway, so I couldn't afford nothing. So I got that, but nobody showed. There's only two people that showed up: my little brother who recorded it, and then my fiance Ida. Outside of that, nobody showed up, right? But we still ran it. It was my first time actually getting to kind of speak and just introducing them, even though there was nobody in the room. But when I watched them run that corporate overview for the first time in person, for me, it was like I want to be like that. That's what I want to do, right? I just saw myself in them. I'm like, I want to be able to speak with that level of posture, right? I want to be able to speak with that level of confidence and that level of knowledge. And then I just got this chance to see the way they carried themselves, right? I remember we went to breakfast like the next day. Their phones were blowing up. Like they were on the phone, they were helping agents the whole nine. I'm like, man, I can't wait for the day my phone is blowing up. Now I'm there and I'm like, oh man, oh, I can't keep my phone on do not disturb all day. but that's when my flag was planted because getting to see how they carried themselves, but also they believed in me enough to come up there and we still ran this thing. And they just was like, hey, this is like, don't worry about it. We really just came up here to meet you, right? We wanted to meet you. That's when I decided to plant my flag here, right? And really go all in from that point on.
That's awesome. That's funny. So note to self. Let's make sure we have the company or the corporate overview filled out for Sarah and Jenny here in a couple of weeks. So let's make
Yeah.
sure that happens there with everything. So, all right. So you have to look at that moment happened there and everything. I mean, when did you, I mean, did your fiance, now fiance,
hmm
yeah, when did she, yeah, I mean, she's obviously a part of your organization, different capacity and
hmm
everything like that. What really kind of prompted you to say, hey, I wanted this opportunity? And maybe she decided to come a little bit later because sometimes we see
Yeah.
that happen.
So if you know my fiance is she's an introvert, like me actually. But when I brought up this was sales initially, she said, I'm no, I'm good. I'm not really doing that. But after I got in, again, I just saw what it could be, and I'm like, hey, like get your license, right? If something happens to me, this business is gonna go to you. Get your license. Right. So she did get her license. She actually came in. She did try, like, she started a dial and all that stuff. Never got the opportunity to close anything. But from there, I just kind of took it on, right, and allowed this to be kind of my baby, and grow it and learn it. And really, I was just learning a ton about myself along the way. And then finally, when was it? I think she came in and started helping me out with a lot of the admin director of operations role. It was September of no, she started doing some stuff in September of 2022, and then she fully kind of took everything over at some point in 2023. But now me and her do the business together, right? She doesn't have to work at all. And it's just really fun, right? It's fun to be able to talk about the business together. It was fun, right, to be able to vision cast and talk about where our life is going to go and what are some things we have to do like that. relationship. That's really cool, right? Where in the beginning it was just a lot of me talking, right? And like she understood some things, but maybe not understood everything. But then when she came in, we were on the same page, and it's just really fun to be able to do it together. And I didn't think we were going to do it together at first. Um, but yeah, it's my number one business partner.
It's best to have your spouse, significant other, being that business partner, somebody that believes in you. I know, speaking at the Agency Owner Academy, one of the
Mm-hmm.
things that Jace Ditson had shared with me is if you really want to get people involved in this business, when you do that first interview and then they go into the meet and greet second interview, however you call it itself there, invite their spouse with them, because if they
Mm-hmm.
can see the vision of everything that's going on here, that's going to, basically have it where those times are a little bit tougher. They
Mm-hmm.
see the vision of everything there. The fact that, your fiance, girlfriend at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With everything, now fiance, she sees the vision of all this. That's probably on those tough days when you basically said, hey, you know what? This isn't for me. She was probably your biggest cheerleader saying, nope, you got to stick with it, right?
100%. And that's why it's so important, right, to get your spouse involved because they need to, and then maybe it's not even involved in the way like they're producing. Again, my fiance doesn't produce, but like having those conversations with them about the business, like, hey, this is where we can go, this is where we will go, right? And having them jump on board because we do this from home, you guys, right? You do this from home. If you're at home and you're not in a supportive environment, right, where you guys are not on board, you're always going back and forth like man you shouldn't be spent like your wife said hey you shouldn't be spending money your wife or husband right shouldn't be spending money on leads like we need to be putting money towards this and they don't get it you're gonna have a tough ride right you gotta have that support at home but they have to be bought into the vision right obviously and then they're buying into you and if you don't communicate that if you don't get them ingrained to the culture if you don't bring them to the events like conference then right? It's going to be a little tougher on you, right? Because this business is already going to be tough in itself. So for you not to have that at home support, you need it, right? So and this is you're not building a life for you, you're building a life for your family together, right? So under make sure you're communicating, say, hey, this is where we're going to go. This is the life that we're going to live, and this is why I'm deciding to take this path, opposed to taking the corporate path or another path, because it may take us a long time where just I don't see the growth in myself. I know what I'm capable of here, and this is where I get to live out my full potential, right? And I promise you, you guys are partners, right? You guys are partners in life already, right? So they're gonna be there for you. They're gonna be your number one support. Um, so yeah, to answer that.
Amen to that. That is for sure. That's best piece of advice you can give there. Now
Mhm,
let's dig into your agency a little bit.
mhm,
Obviously, you have the opportunity to recruit cold market, you have the opportunity to recruit warm market. What would you say
mhm.
the makeup is of your agency? And then what are you guys focusing in on from a warm market standpoint? What are some of the things that you give maybe as advice to some of your agents that maybe don't have the money to spend on the cold market side and maybe
Mhm.
focusing on the warm market? And then second part of the question is, what are you doing from a cold market side? What areas are you focusing in on?
Yeah. So for me, it right now it is a mix. Is it an even mix? It is not an even mix. I'm working very hard to make it an even mix of cold and warm. Right. For me, when I started the business, I actually did when I first started because I wanted to build from day one. I knew I wanted to build. That's why I came here. I actually did try to recruit warm market. It didn't work out for me how I wanted to be able to, which is okay. Right. And then I learned obviously there's something called cold market so that's what I started in April of 2022. April of 2022, that's when I started doing my cold market recruiting. That's when I first started doing interviews, right? I started posting job ads. There wasn't as many cool systems as there are now, so I was doing that all on my own, which is okay because I learned a lot. Like during that process, I learned how to take ownership in every level of my business, not just the production side, but the posting side, the vetting side. Like I understood every layer because I had to do it, even though I didn't know how to do it beforehand. But I was always nervous when it came to warm market. Why? Because you hear these things, right? Like when I came in, I remember when I first came in and I tried to recruit my warm market, it's like, oh man, that's a pyramid scheme. Man, that's an MLM. Like, why are you like, what are you doing? Like, do you went and play basketball just to go do this? And I'm like, dude, it's not. Like, this is insurance. It's regulated by the government. It's regulated by the state. Like, we have to get a license, right? Like, you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay anything to come and do this or you have to pay me anything to do this. It's like you're building a business for yourself. And then when I tried that and I got that feedback, I was nervous. So I didn't want to input that on my agents, right? Because there's the stigma, right? Stigma, oh, like don't like of your friends and family. And it held me down for a long time. And because I allowed other people's thoughts and opinions to dictate my actions, it actually slowed my growth. And I didn't move as fast as I wanted to in the direction that I wanted to, right? What do I mean by that? right? Again, you can't allow you can't allow what other people think about you or what other people think that you're doing. Like you're gonna get told no, right? No is gonna happen. We're in sales, we're in this industry, we're in life is happening. So I allowed that to slow me down to where the message that I gave to my agency was I just didn't talk about it or I shied away from it. So we didn't do a ton of warm market recruiting. What does that mean? When you warm market recruit you guys, the trust is there, speed of trust. People are gonna move a lot faster, right? Because they already know you. They already like you. They already trust you, right? They know Bob, you're a great dude, right? I know Bob's not going to do anything foolish. So if he's doing this, he's seeing success, right? I'm trusting Bob. So I'm gonna move along with, and you already have the relationship there. When I'm recruiting cold market, that's something I have to work very hard on. Especially, I'm not going to say it anymore, but before I wasn't the biggest relationship person, right? Again, I'm an introvert, didn't necessarily care about that all that much. Like, hey, we're getting to work, we're getting it done, not realizing this is a relationship business, right? And all the magic happens in the relationship a lot of times. So I missed that a lot, which allowed that it took me a lot longer to build. So if you're new, and also again, when it comes to cold market, sometimes it's harder to duplicate that because it takes an investment, right? I came in here broke with $200 to my name. I couldn't cold market recruit from day one, but guess what I could do? I could warm market recruit. And if I have a vision for myself on where I'm trying to go and how big I'm trying to build this agency, and I want to do it quick, everybody on this call should have a sense of urgency. I want to do this as fast as possible. It's not, well, let me see how it works out first. Why would you want to see how it works out first? Are you in a position in your life financially where it's okay, I can give this a few months to see how this works out? Or is it, hey, I'm in a position right now, I need to make this work so I don't have to make another decision later on of do I go get a job or do I do this? Because I see that way too much of people wait too long to make a decision and actually commit. They wait to the last moment when their finances are already dwindled down, when they've been drawn on their 401k for the last 6 months to say, all right, I'm ready, but I don't have any resources. I can't invest in these anymore, right? Their belief is already kind of shot a little bit. Do it from day one. What is it going to hurt? Real quick, I want to ask you guys this question. What is it going to hurt to make a decision from day one and committing to the vision that the place that you see yourself going? Is it going to make you move any slower? Or is it just going to make you get there a little bit faster? Are you going to build your belief a lot faster? Are you going to understand how to do this a lot quicker? Yes. Right. So that's a question we have to ask ourselves and actually be real. And there's just something on the other side of that. And it's just, again, it's just fear, right? Like, what if I give all myself to this and it doesn't work out? That's okay. For me, I'm always comfortable in the fact as long as I gave every single thing I did, I could. And if it didn't work out, wasn't meant to be. I did every single thing I could, right? But the one thing I refuse to live my life with is regrets. And what I mean by that is getting to that point, like, man, what if I would just follow the system a little bit more? What if I just put a little bit more work in? I know I have more to give, but I chose not to give it. What could it look like for me right now? And that's what I faced when I first started the business all the time, by the way. Just like Bob started this call off, man, you don't know where I like starting this business off. I was 22 when I started. I'm 26 now. Like, man, you be in the business at this age, doing what you're doing, life is going to look real good. I heard that a ton, right? I heard a ton of people say, man, you come into business at 22, I wouldn't be able to know. I wouldn't know what to do with the business. I wouldn't be running it the way you are or what you can do. But I was squabbling it when I first started because I was eating dirt. So I saw that and I'm like, all right, I gotta get this together. Right. So I wish I would have done, I'm not gonna say wish. If I'm gonna have one wish, I'm gonna make it good. But like I should have took other people's opinions aside and right promoted it a lot more because it also would have helped my people win a lot faster anyway. So so yeah, now I'll probably say we're about 70% cold market, 30% warm market. It's allowing agents to see success a lot faster and scale them up into cold market appropriately, right? Because you do need cold market. Cold market is going to give you the volume and give you the opportunity to have the conversations, and you're going to find the right people in there, right? It is digging through mud to find the gold. That's natural, right? It's the interview world. Um, but you have some pretty cool people that that can crush in this business or may need extra $1,000, $2,000 a month. Can move pretty quick that way. And there's been plenty of examples in this business um, for people who have done that. So when you talk about balance of how I do it, that's how I do it. 70% cold currently, 30% warm, and it's allowed us to build a lot more momentum doing it that way.
Man, I don't even know how to ask another follow-up question to that. So I'm just going to end the call here and tell everybody to tip their weight, their wait staff, and we're going to call it a day. No, I'm just kidding. But no, that was great. Love the information there. That's very genuine. I mean, you could see the passion, in the way that you delivered that, and just speaks volumes about what you actually do, and basically put the expectation on your people with everything there. I mean, as we've heard the expression all the time, you're leading that army of volunteers in essence, to the promised land, if you want to say that.
So, and
Um,
then real quick, I
yeah,
want just real fast. I want you guys to put this in the chat real quick. I want you to choose. There's two different paths, right? I want you to the path I took. My first 6 months, I did 15,000. I started building my agency in April 2022. We did 350 that year. 280 of it was my own pen. 2023, my agency did 1.1 million. So let's say 2 years, 2.5 years to do that. There's another agent, right? Me and Scott know very well. She came in 7 months, right? Seven months hit agency owner. It took me 18 months from the day I started hit agency owner, 10 months from the day I started building hit AO. So I say 18 months it took me. This lady here, she hit agency owner in 7 months. That same year I hit 1.1 million. She also hit 1.1 million in the same year of 2023. It took me 2.5 years to have $1 million agency in a year. It took her 1 year in her first year. Real quick, my path is option one. Her path is option two. Put in the chat. I want to see which paths are you doing? Two. Why two though? You guys, why two? Like Bob, why do you think they're saying two?
got to grow themselves.
Grow themselves. The amount of time it takes, a lot faster, right? Work smarter, not harder. How did she do that? Warm market business, warm market recruiting. You guys, warm market. Right now, we have conversations now. She's just now getting into cold market at this point, right? Which is crazy. Well, I'm not gonna say crazy. Crazy is perspective, I guess. But move faster, right? So for me, it could have taken a lot less time. So don't make the same mistakes that I did. So I just wanted to do that. I just want to throw that out there real fast.
No, love that. So you get somebody to come in the system, cold
Mhm.
market, warm market. At this point, doesn't matter. They're coming into a system. What does that
Yep.
process look like for you within your
Yeah.
agency?
Process along which lines?
Just in
Like,
general, I mean, what does that look like as far as what do you do to prepare an agent from, let's say, now they're licensed?
mhm.
What do they go through? What's that process look like from the time that they start that process, of being licensed to contacting their first client?
Yeah. So we have them in the beginning. You guys probably heard this before from Danny Young, right? An agent's excitement is going to be the highest when they first start. That's when they first start, right? We want to capitalize on that, right? What we want to do is we want to get an agent a quick win. What is a quick win? What is a quick win, you guys? Put it in the chat real quick. What do you think a quick win is? Commission, write an app. Yep. Recruit. Ooh, I like that. That was one person that put in the recruit in there, right? So you get a commission, right? You get a deposit in your account, or you onboard a new agent, right? You recruit somebody, right? So I want to get a quick win as fast as possible for the agent, right? We have the normal onboarding process. Hey, you apply for your license, you're going to fill out your onboarding application. After your onboarding application, you're approved, right? You're going to do your Cheryl C contracts. You're going to go ahead and knock out base camp phase of summit. We're going to do your game planning session to go over your 90-day PPF goals or personal, professional, financial goals for the next 90 days. You're writing an app on yourself. Boom, you're ready. You're officially ready to write, buy some leads, and get going. Right now, in there though, right? Yes, one of the quick wins is writing an app on yourself, getting that deposit, but that's not really it. One of the big things that I've been doing probably the past month and a half or 2 months now, I guess, is embracing again. We talk about warm market, right? Something I didn't embrace all that much when I first started. But I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story. When I first started, I didn't reach out to a ton of people, right? Promoting, hey, I'm in the life insurance industry, right? For people that ask me, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, yeah, I'm selling life insurance and all that stuff. But one of my friends, we grew up together. His name was Nate. He was a few years older than me. He was like, hey, man, I'm about to have a kid. I'm about to have my first son. Like, my girlfriend is pregnant. It's not due yet, but I don't have any life insurance. Right? I know you're in the industry. I don't want to go to no Allstate or State Farm. I want to get a policy through you since you're my boy, and I know you're just getting this business going, so I want to support you as well. I'm like, cool. I help him with a $250,000 Foresters policy because back then we could write Foresters in New York still. He ended up passing away 3 months later. He ended up passing away 3 months later. Now think about this, right? This is the opportunity that you have, right? It's not, you're just promoting yourself and say, hey, this is the industry I'm in, right? Would you be open to doing a policy review or at least me educating you on what this can do for you? Right? In that moment, right? There's two things that could have happened. What if I never said anything? Right? What if I said, "Oh, I don't want to do anything," and then he passes away anyway? Now I'm sitting there because, like I said, we grew up together. Like, man, I know he has a son on the way. I could have impacted his son a little bit. Like, he could have left a legacy behind and set him up, right? And if guess what? If Nate says no, like, hey, I'm good, then I know I did my job. I did my part in saying, hey, this is what I do. If he takes advantage of it, right? That's on him or not. But at least I didn't have to live with that because guess what? Right? I just, hey, I'm in the life insurance industry. So what I go ahead and do, right? A number one thing for me, right? I also grew up in New York. Obviously, inner city Rochester, single mom, low income community. I've seen so many people pass away. I've seen so many GoFundMe's in place. I've seen so many of my friends and family lose everything because of no insurance, no affordable insurance, or the lack of education and knowledge on it because there's so many myths about life insurance. One of the things that I take pride in is making sure I'm educating my community and my culture, right? Because I want to be able to give back to them. So I'm gonna go ahead and buy a lead and educate somebody that I don't even know. Yes, they sent the request and I'm gonna service them, but I'm not gonna service the folks where I came from. That's crazy to me, right? I want to be able to provide an impact. This thing is bigger than me. So what I have agents go do, like, hey, what I want you to do, I want you to think of 20 folks. 20 folks. You're not reaching out to them to sell them a policy. You're actually reaching out to them. It's going to give you some practice. It's going to give you some appointment practice because in the beginning, you're going to get a lot of dial practice when you're dialing leads. You're going to get through the dialing learning curve. But one of the things that you're going to struggle with a little bit, probably in your first week or 2 weeks, is presentation practice. So this is what we're going to go ahead and do, right? You're going to get 20 folks and you're going to present to them. You're going to do a policy review. If they have a policy, you're going to be able to go through it. This is going to give you some great experience and some great knowledge, actually, how to do a policy review. It's going to educate you on the products as you're actually going through it. And then you're going to present, right? We're insurance brokers. 99% of the time, we're able to provide somebody with either more value. I apologize, it's my cat right here. But you're either going to provide them with more value, you're going to provide them with a better price, or you're just going to walk away from that conversation knowing you gave them some more information, right, on how life insurance actually works. They may not make a decision now, but maybe in the future. So I was like, worst case scenario, you can get presentation experience. Best case scenario, you're just provided some value and you're able to protect them with a policy, right? So you're going to go ahead and do that. Guess what that's going to do? The goal in this is, or part of the goal, obviously, if you can, is to get 6 applications this way. If you get one policy on yourself, one policy on your wife, you able to get 4 other, you just hit season new agent. Now you're able to get an SLO. Now you don't have to worry about going to hunt for leads and opt all the time. Right now, you get a standing leader that's coming in every week. And let's say you get 6 applications, the average application is $1,200. What did you just do in your first month? You just hit your slingshot. You just got advanced $3,000 in commissions. Now your grand opening to your business is ready to go. Now you have money to invest in leads. If you're like me, where I came in this business with $200 to my name and I didn't have $200 to invest in the leads my first few weeks, that's going to help get you going, right? This is going to give you some confidence now because again, you've been working on your dial in these past 2 weeks, but you've been working on your presentation these past 2 weeks too. So now you're going to be more effective and efficient on your leads. So we have them do that. Quick wins. The other thing when we do is when I go over their game plan, when we do the game planning session to go over their goals, right? I ask them, hey, I already know where they want to go because I ask these questions during the interview, but like, hey, I know you said you want to be in leadership, you want to grow a business. When do you want to do that? When do you want to do that? Everybody's a little bit different. Some people, well, give me a few months. I want to get this figured out first. 6 months, maybe next year. I'm like, okay. Well, I guess my question is, yes, it's going to take that time because you do need to produce and learn how to build at the same time. It's not something you just decide to build and you're an agency owner day one. It takes some time to ramp up, right? So it takes one person at a time, then you get another person, you're just growing your team, you're growing yourself because guess what? Before you can have quality coaching and you can be a quality mentor, you need quantity recruiting. Because I didn't know how to be a mentor when I first started, right? The people who I recruited in 2022, not a single one of them are here anymore, right? So again, so for me, it's all right. Well, who do you want to do this business with? And then obviously I send them the Danny Young text. with a video, have them send it out, and that's how I get them try to get them a quick win. Right. I had one agent, brought him in. He's in Louisiana actually. He was wrapping up his test. It was like, hey Michael, I had a buddy of mine. He's a neighbor. He actually had his life insurance license. He tried to start this industry at in a with a financial advisor. Didn't work the way he wanted to. He's ready to get going. I told him I gave him your contact info. The dude booked the interview through LinkedIn. And I'm like, you could have just texted me. We could have did a three-way and all that stuff. But right, and then now he's going. Right. Now his that one agent's a writer. Now he has two writers going into this month. He had first month of his 2,500 promotion last month. Now we're going into month two. So it helps people get going a lot faster. So I know that was a very long-winded explanation, Bob.
That's great. Love the
But
explanation.
so
Let's wrap it up with this question here. Very simple. Who and what determines if somebody should build a business here or just personally produce?
ooh, very good question. Who and what? Ultimately, it's you. You determine if you're going to build a business here, number one. Now, what determines that? What determines that is the person you are and what you actually care about. Right? If you're, yes, we're all here to be able to make an income, right? For me, right? It was also part of that. Like, yes, I want to be able to make more money now. I want to be able to get more time now. But you have to be able to dig deeper. If you want to do this long term, it has to go a little bit, it has to go a little deeper than that, right? You have to see more in yourself because there's more in you. And what that more is just the ability to go out there and make an impact on how this business has changed your life and what it can do for others. Because again, it's bigger than you at the end of the day. So who determines it? You determine it. Now, what determines it is just what you want here. You have to think bigger picture because again, you guys, there's a lot more in every one of you than you actually see. And I know that because your mentors believe in you and your mentors seeing in you. They wouldn't have brought this opportunity to you if they didn't see it. Right. I know what the founders see in all of us. Um, so yeah, that's what I would say for who and what.
I appreciate that there. Michael, I want to say thank you for pouring out to us here for the last basically 34 minutes or so it was that we were able to get to speak to you. Appreciate you very much for everything that you've been able to accomplish here. Everything, like I said here, that you poured out into the team here. Be on the lookout. Michael Mathews is going places.
Well, you're going
So
places, my man. Like you guys in a great agency, like Scott and Kate. I love them to death. Obviously Giovanna and Venus, I got the opportunity to connect with them. I think it was last month or something like that. They're awesome. Bob, being able to connect with you at Agency Owner Academy, right, and seeing you just skyrocket up the leaderboards. I think you're number seven AO in the company right now in recruiting and growing. Like, keep it going. Like, you guys are in good hands. Like, trust the system, trust the process. You guys are following some amazing people. And just get ready to blow this thing up. So I appreciate you guys.
everybody have yourselves a great rest of your week there. See you guys all in the virtual office.